Why do you think there's such a bad rap in the media about intergenerational housing versus what you're seeing when you talk to folks who are both aging that way and getting to benefit from being with elders?
Right, that's a great question. And I think about it this way, that we have, that Bill pointed out the lack of options that we have, and I think that's based in an older understanding of how we should live. We have, that whole discussion about the aging population coming, that's a fundamental change. That we'll have more people over the age of 65 than under 18 for the first time in American history by 2035, right? So all of our mindsets, unprecedented.
Yeah.
And so all of our mindsets are based differently, and I think what we have is a fundamental procrastination problem in this country. And I'm not going to pick on the people that were late to the session on that. But the idea that we don't think about issues until they happen, all right? So you might not make a housing choice until I have kids, or another housing choice until I'm retired, or another housing choice until maybe I've injured myself and no longer can get up the stairs or what have you. And doing those things in advance is what really helps. Yeah. So fundamentally, when we start with multi-generational housing, it starts us off from a different place of thinking, well, now we're going to make a home that serves people at all levels. Mm-hmm. That the concept of universal design and others are based on the fact that people at every age and every level of physical ability should be able to thrive just from a purely physical standpoint. So we're going to have a way for everybody to get around the house, from the young kid to grandma. And then what you're getting at, though, is a social side of it, too. Right? So that there are, frankly, the economist side of me says it's inefficient to live the way that we do. Right? That the older generation's history and knowledge of what's gone on from the family to the community and beyond, passing that on is great. The younger population's energy or knowledge of technology and whatnot. I've seen so many cases where there have been an older resident and younger roommate, where the younger roommate helps with technology and helps understanding, and they get life advice and wisdom from the older adult. Yeah. Maybe there's some light caregiving that's exchanging hands. It's just a much more efficient way to think about it, that we're getting the advantages of multiple different people and multiple different generations in one place, whether it's a home or a community.
Yeah.
So I think one thing I want to get to is, Bill's a doctor of people, I'm a doctor of urban planning. And so I look at it this way, that we have to create these same kind of principles in our communities, in our housing, and just in our lives throughout. So the idea is that we should generally kind of embrace this multi-generational thing, because we are a multi-generational society now, whether we like it or not.